this is where I find out the reason the X-Men haven't had to deal with Magneto is because he was turned into a baby. You gotta catch me up on what the this is.
Without the man you go and pay. We're gonna take on humanity. Transform, X-Men, reporting scene in time. Transform, mutants, systems and final death. Now we're X-Men. Hello, flat scans, and welcome to the X-Men. We are the next stage in human evolution. Two trans women exploring the X-Men. My name is Beth.
I'm Seanny.
And today we are excited to bring to you not a triple issue like last week, just 2 issues of the X-Men. But what are 2 issues, Seanny?
What are 2 issues? Listen, bit of real talk for a moment. Last night, I had every intention of finishing off issue 105 and putting all my notes together. And then I had a bit of an unrelated mental health tailspin. And I was messaging Beth being like, girl, I don't think I'm going to be able to record tomorrow. I just can't get myself in the zone. And she was so beautiful and understanding and like no pressure girly about it. And then later that night, I was just sitting there being like, you literally always have the best fun when you record this thing. So let's just read a few pages of issue 105. You can see how you feel and if you can get in the zone. Let me tell you, issue 105 is so cuckoo bananas. I could not fathom going 2 weeks without talking about it with my girl. And that is the power of X-Men, and that is the power of this friendship.
That's it. This is a podcast about friendship, and it's a podcast about how bonkers this comic is. And you know, but the thing is, all the bonkers stuff that happens across these 2 issues, I'm like, that tracks with the universe of the X-Men.
This is what I'm learning, that the universe of the X-Men is so much more complex than I ever could have imagined.
There's 3 types of X-Men stories. There's mutant metaphor, discrimination stories, mutant hate groups hunting them down. There's time travel and alternate universe stories where, you know, they have to face off with alternate versions of them or stop a future from happening or somebody from the future comes back. Or ridiculous stuff that's happening in outer space. And that's what we got here.
We got a lot of that.
Oh, there is a secret 4th one. That's called Mojo World. But we don't need to unpack that for a little bit.
Next door to the punch dimension.
I should never have told you about the punch dimension.
I'm going to dine out on the punch dimension.
For those of you who don't know, there's one entry in the Marvel handbook, Ultimate Handbook to the Marvel Universe from the 80s, that says Cyclops' I-beams are portals to another dimension full of punch energy, and that's what he's shooting out. Quickly retconned, but everybody has just grasped this and run with it, and every meme that's made about it gives me life. And this is where, while we're talking about this, you got to put that little clip of that video that I sent you.
They're beams of pure force, so they're not like a laser. They're more like a punch, and they come from the punch dimension.
You're making that up.
That's a real place.
Shut up.
What have you been up to, Seanny? Anything good to tell me?
I had such a sick day the other day hanging out with my friend Beth.
That's me.
That's you. We went on a little shopping expedition to get some little outfits for the Lizzie's band content we got coming up. And we filmed a little spontaneous music video. Just a great day all around.
We literally cannot have a day just spending time together without doing a scheme, huh?
Nah, gotta get at least 2 schemes cooking every day.
Yeah, that's it. And we have no plans for that music video. It could never come out. It could come out tomorrow. Who knows? It's not going to come out tomorrow.
No. What you been up to?
Well, I'm heading to Tasmania for a couple of reasons. So this Saturday, I'm going to see my friends Beck and Bridge get married. It's going to be really, really beautiful.
It's going to be so good.
And then the Saturday after that and the Sunday, I'm playing a couple of sets at the Hobo Folk Punk Festival in Hobart, which is really exciting. But
hell yeah.
I haven't been on a big holiday really since I transitioned, and trying to work out what to pack is like, you know, back in the olden days, I'd be like 3 t-shirts, 1 pair of jeans, hair gel, done.
Easy. Maybe a pair of underwear for each day. Maybe not.
I really don't want to flash back to my dark times, huh?
No,
Now
none of
I'm
us
like,
do.
I gotta weigh up like what's essential. Like, what do I actually have to bring? Hormones, got 'em. iPad, because I'm an iPad baby. It's coming with me. Let's see how we do it. But apparently I've packed all my clothes, and that's why I'm in my pajamas. That's my fit check, baby. I'm in my Paris Hilton pajamas and wearing a headband that I got from Arthur Daly's clearance warehouse in Ferntree Gully, Victoria. And it's all curls because I'm getting my hair did tomorrow and I didn't want to waste time straightening it.
Ow! Even when you're rocking your PJs, it can't stop you being the most fashionable girly.
It's what Paris would do. They actually say, "That's hot" on the back. You know, the famous line from famous Paris Hilton.
That's what she says.
The celebrity woman who has celebrity quotes. What are you wearing, Seanny?
Look, I am wearing just a simple black tank because let me tell you, it is getting warm. But the real star of the show here is my little necklace. You will not possibly be able to read what it says here, but it says "oui" on one side and "non" on the other side. It was a little gift from Katie, and it doubles as both a little fidgety toy for me to play with when I'm restless. And also, if I've got a decision to make and I just can't make it, I just ask the monkey a yes or no question and you give it a spin and he tells you the answer. It's so useful.
Like a magic 8-ball, but way less insulting.
Yeah, it doesn't. Or like it doesn't say like, oh, try again later.
Why is a magic 8-ball always going to come for me like that?
I know. And why the 8-ball? What's so magic about an 8-ball anyway?
And you know what? That little octagonal prism that's in there never sat flat against the glass. Who would have thought that of all the people that we could be coming for in this podcast, we are choosing to speak out against magic 8-balls?
You a magic 8-ball lover? F*** you. Sorry. Sorry.
That's the silly, kooky kind of podcast that we're running these days. And with that said, let's talk about some issues, baby.
Let's talk about the issues with the issues.
All right, we're kicking it off with X-Men 104. And in X-Men 104, it had to happen. The new X-Men against Magneto, Earth's most powerful supervillain. He's here.
He's here. He's finally here.
And not for long. We meet our heroes on the northwest coast of Scotland where they are trying to rent a hovercraft from a man named Mac Werter. Unfortunately, the booking has been made in the name of Moira McTaggart, and the salesman was not expecting a fully costumed group of mutants, so he refuses to rent them the hovercraft, but he says he'll keep their money for his trouble. Colossus disagrees, and leaving the man hanging from his own dock in a real, like, high school bully type scene, the X-Men depart via Grant Theft Hovercraft. The trip... Brilliant. An incredible opening scene.
Flawless.
The trip doesn't last long as their vessel is suddenly torn apart by magnetic energy, leaving the mutants awash in the sea. They surface on the coast of Muir Island, home to a mutant research facility owned by none other than the X-Men's housekeeper, Moira McTaggart. Not just a housekeeper.
This is how they're finding out.
As they enter the facility, they are instantly drawn into battle against the X-Men's deadliest foe. A foe this team of X-Men have never faced. And that gentleman's name is Magneto. Meanwhile, on the other side of the island, Cyclops and Moira land in the X-Men's Blackbird jet. When they enter the facility, designed to contain and rehabilitate the world's deadliest mutants, they find an unconscious Jamie Madrox. Who is Jamie Madrox? A mutant we don't have time to explain in this issue, but we're gonna get to know him much better like 20 years from now.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Jamie. See you in 20 years.
I'm a massive Madrox fan. He's like the worst guy in the world, but you're like, keep on keeping on, bucko.
Worst guy in the world? Worse than Havoc?
Let's not get distracted from the synopsis. It's like, I don't know why I sympathize with Madrox, you know? Again, I'm getting distracted.
Sick name.
Jamie informs Moira and Slim that Magneto, who had been de-aged to being a baby in the pages of Defenders, has miraculously been re-aged to adulthood when the facility was invaded by Eric the Red, Havoc, and Polaris. Magneto and Eric plotted together to destroy the X-Men. Now returning to the battle, Magneto has bested all of the X-Men. I know it's funny. We're going to talk about it. His greatest challenge in this battle is facing Banshee, but the old Buckethead defeats the Irishman by entombing our Sean in a suit made of ferrous particles, creating a sealed metal coffin around him in the shape of his body. Magneto is struck from behind by an optic blast from Cyclops, who could have done much more damage if he hadn't announced his entrance.
Slim's got to be dramatic.
Our Slim has Magneto on the ropes when he gathers the defeated X-Men and frees Sean from his metal tomb and makes the leadership decision that the X-Men must flee in the Blackbird. He has deduced that Professor X is Eric the Red's real target. Wolverine, however, is not impressed. Magneto celebrates his victory, unaware that behind him the oxygen seal has been broken on the enclosure for a mysterious mutant named Mutant X.
Yeah.
No relation to the comic starring Havoc.
He's in a comic called Mutant X.
There, it's a Havoc solo title.
What a waste of paper.
Absolute waste of paper. But we have no time for any of that. In a chaotic final page, we meet the crew of the Starjammer discussing their fears of a mysterious emperor going through with his plans to open a dimensional gate. Two panels later, Princess Neramani has reached Earth, but with barely any fuel left for planetfall. An Imperial cruiser appears behind her, preparing to shoot to kill. Finally, another 2 panels later, we see...
page.
It's a real busy page. We see Jean Grey's parents greeting Professor Xavier as Eric the Red, Havoc, and Polaris surveil them. If Eric's plans come to pass, the princess will be his, and the X-Men and Professor Xavier will be no more. Next issue, Phoenix Unleashed. You going with that?
Every time.
No, surely not every time.
Well, we'll see.
I'll allow it just this once.
Googling how to quit a podcast yet again.
We talked about that off the air. Now you're going to have to come back to our whole conversation and out the weird way that you eat pasta.
No! You will only find out if you watch the special outtakes episode.
Oh, Katie's going to kill me for bringing that up again in the real pod. This should really be in the X's, but the X-Men renting that hovercraft, oh my god, peak comedy.
My first up.
Sean is using the fake name of Mick. The X-Men have arrived at the docks in full costume. They booked it under Moira's name, even though she wasn't going to be there. And there's one panel where Colossus is standing behind McWhirter, the rental man, intimidating him and saying, "Comrade, since you intend to keep our money, it seems only fair that we keep your hovercraft boat, niet?" And moments later, that hovercraft is destroyed. They have
may as well have not happened.
They've destroyed a man's livelihood in the process. Peak comedy.
It is. You are not kidding. This has been my favorite way to open an issue. The first dialogue we read in this comic is a man on a dock saying, "You heard me. You're not taking my hovercraft out of this harbor," and that's final. Also, now I could be wrong here. I think, in fact, Banshee is not using a fake name. The harbour master is just using a slur against Irish people, talking to Banshee, and that is why he's a little exasperated as well.
Oh, am I not up to date on slurs enough?
I mean, up to date in that it's an ancient slur.
How old is Banshee? He did grow up in a Norman castle.
True.
This whole opening scene, the X-Men's banter is off chops. When Wolverine, they get out of the water after the hovercraft exploded, and Wolverine asks, "Oh, do you ever get the feeling that somebody's got it in for us?" And Kurt says, Yeah, Wolverine. The way the hovercraft exploded. It sounds like the kind of sassy banter that I would deliver on an X-Men team.
It's true. You know what? Kurt has a couple of times in these issues where he's got weirdly, like, modern anachronistic comebacks for things.
I also think it's really cute how Logan calls Kurt Elfie in this scene. And
Elfie, yeah.
while all this is going on, Colossus is like over here being like, oh, the safer days on the Ustodinsky Collective.
He loves talking about the collective.
It's his whole life. He probably never left. He's just been moving bales of hay around and destroying tractors since he was born.
I just have to imagine it sucks. He's always talking about it so fondly. I mean, they did just crash a hovercraft into an island. That probably wasn't fun.
It's a simpler life. That was all he needed.
Right.
Now, has his life got any better since he's joined the X-Men? Hard to say. What's an up you got for me?
Look, speaking of when they washed up on this island, soggy, flat-haired Banshee, he can kind of get it.
Oh my God, Seanny, you were like...
He's got a like Kurt Cobain thing going on. I'm finally considering him for the boyfriend draft. I'm like, hello, where you been, you floppy-haired little weirdo?
Look, he seems very caring, doesn't he?
Doesn't he?
And now that he's got a bit of a rock and roll look to him...
Don't worry, in a few panels, his hair will have gotten, like, perfectly permed in that 70s dated style again that I hate.
You know what? It's probably due to the fact that the second they get onto the island, Magneto sends them hurtling through the air on this patch of ground that he fires up with his magnetism, and that probably has, like, fast blow-dried Banshee's hair.
True. The ultimate feathered look.
And this is a perfect segue to my next up, which is that another wall gets smashed.
Yes, that is. We are going beat for beat on the ups right now.
It's perfect. Like this opening section of the issue is just so good. And it peaks
so
whenever
good.
a wall gets smashed. They're like, what are we going to do? There's a wall there. And then all the X-Men turn around and fire their powers at it at once, with Banshee leading the charge with his sonic scream, and they're through.
Yeah.
I kind of appreciate that Banshee's kind of like the leader in Cyclops' absence.
Yeah, there's some really good Banshee moments in this episode. Every little issue, it's like they pick, like, sort of one of the X-Men to be the little highlight character, and Banshee gets a turn here, even though I guess he sort of had one previous issue, but I'm happy about it.
The 3 issues we just read that were all about him, Seanny.
But then one of them was kind of about Nightcrawler, because he got to interact with the leprechauns and get a new power.
Oh, that is true. I do like Banshee in this one being the one to get the big moment and get his pops in against Magneto.
Yes.
And Magneto literally throws everything in the facility at him, including what looks like a microwave and a coffee maker.
What? I'm going to need to go back and look at that.
There's this whole panel where there's just a bunch of appliances flying at Banshee. And his way of actually defeating Banshee by encasing him in those ferrous particles and making like this completely like black Banshee shaped like mummy is insane. It's so messed up and weird, but it's like,
Yeah.
it's cool.
It's cool.
Got another up?
We bemoaned the fact that Magneto got the pithiest little appearance on a screen as his reveal in the last issue. When he shows up in this issue, he gets the full page treatment. He's there in all of his glory. It's beautiful. And it's nice. This is my first time seeing him properly in a comic, and it's just a really cool page.
It is. I have somewhere else in my notes that, like, it just feels so weird that this is, like, their main villain. This is, like, the most famous X-Men villain, and this is how we're using him for, like, half an issue. But that reveal in that panel is so cool. I actually really like Wolverine being so mad at Cyclops that they got to retreat. I love him as the hothead. That's the role he's going to fall into for the next 60 years of this comic. Cyclops is so disappointed that Wolverine backs down from the fight when he pulls rank on him. My man is so depressed. He wanted either to beat Logan up or Logan to beat him up. And I'm leaning towards, I think he just wanted to be beat up.
He's going through a lot right now. He's just like, I have to feel something.
Oh, my boy. And on the jet, Logan tells Scott that he'll never forgive him for turning the X-Men into cowards. And you know what? Kind of true, at least for a while. It takes a long while for Slim to kind of get his respect. But when he does, he does.
Sorry, Wolverine. You were not winning that fight against Magneto. You and Cyclops are made of metal. What did you think you were going to do?
You mean Colossus?
That's who I meant. I'm doing that. I do that all the time. Even when I write my notes, I start writing Cyclops instead of Colossus.
I find I tend to write most of the time, I write their, like, human names. And I don't think you do that really with, like, when you're talking about other superheroes. I would rarely call Batman Bruce, right? But most of the time, I think more often than not, I would refer to the X-Men by their civilian names.
Do you think it's because they just... I mean, their powers are who they are. They don't have alter egos like Bruce Wayne or Clark Kent or any of the other superheroes do because they're adopting their superhero personality. The mutants are just who they are all the time.
I think that's exactly it. And also the way that this comic's written, we're getting to know them more as people, right? So I think that's a big reason why we refer to them that way. I'm done for ups. You got any more?
I'm done for ups.
Oh, beautiful, because let's get into the downs.
Let's get down, baby.
Don't let me sing the 5 song again.
You'll get me going.
You know what? Get on up when you're down. That's another 5 song with down in it.
Wait, was that 5 as well?
That's both 5. Get on up when you're down, baby. Take a good look around. I know it's not much, but it's okay. Keep on moving on anyway. Now that we are at Moira's facility, her being introduced as the X-Men's housekeeper is even more ridiculous. She owns and operates a high-tech scientific facility for containing evil mutants. She is also professor at a university in Edinburgh, and she's just been like, you know what? Maybe I will go sweep up after the X-Men. Maybe I will go make cups of tea for Charles.
Why did we have the ruse of her being the housemaid? Why didn't she just rock up and be like, oh, I also run this facility. I'm going to be hanging out with you guys because I like rehabilitating evil mutants.
Like, is it a ruse, though? Because there's that thought balloon from Banshee that says, really, Moira gave up all of this to come be the X-Men's housekeeper or something like that. And
okay.
It seems to me like their reason for going to Muir Island is to sort of like recover from the last stuff that happened. They've just like got on the blower back to Chuck and been like, hey, Moira's got a place. Why don't you go, have a hot shower and a couple, hot cocoa and, put your feet up.
I have one down, but it's a doozy.
Oh, go nuts, girl. Go off.
So Magneto is obviously a super powerful mutant, but his fight with the X-Men feels like he's the shitty little kid on the playground and everyone's playing superhero in terms of the power sets. Storm's like, I shoot lightning at you. And Magneto's like, nah, because I got an anti-electricity interference shield. And then Nightcrawler's like, well, I teleport behind you. And he's like, no, because I can sense disruptions along magnetic force lines, so I know where you are. And Banshee's like, well, my power is flying, so I fly up and you can't reach me. And Magneto's like, yeah, well, I forgot to say this before, but I can fly too.
Asterisk, like Polaris did in issue 97.
Like Polaris did. Because I assume, I don't know, did Magneto fly before? Or did they just invent that power for Polaris and be like, maybe Magneto should have that as well?
Oh, I feel like he did. Now you got me doubting myself, but I feel like he's like flying in the first appearance against the X-Men. I'm going to seem like a really bad X-Men fan, but I hate those 60s issues.
They don't count in our world.
This is all a holdover, I think, from like, that old school storytelling that like you got to continuously, there's not Wikipedia back here, right? You got to keep familiarizing people with the villain's powers when they haven't been around for a while. And so that's the team learning what he can do, but also like all the new readers that have come on probably learning what he can do as well.
Well, you know what? That's fine because he is so happy when he finds out that he's beaten the X-Men that he just waltzes off and we don't see him again.
I think I have that scene in my X's of him just standing there going, I've fought the X-Men and beat them all. They've run away, leaving Magneto triumphant. It's so silly. He wants them dead, doesn't he? Doesn't he?
He hurled them against the base as his first move to try and smush them, I assume. And now he's like, haha, they ran away. It's like, they weren't near you to begin with.
And Broski, the jet's made of metal. What are you doing, Magneto?
Oh my God, so
just
true.
yank it out of the sky. That said, the X-Men are dumb as hell. Man's name is Magneto. And they know the power's magnets. And Wolverine and Colossus are just, time after time, charging at him. And Colossus is just out here getting yeeted into the middle of the ocean.
Yeeted! He has a moment where he's like, he's defeating me in this current form, but if I'm Peter Rasputin, then I won't be able to save my friends. So I have to defeat him as Colossus and immediately gets thrown into the ocean.
He's made of metal. Do any of these guys need to breathe? Because turning into metal shouldn't stop him needing to breathe. And Banshee should have suffocated the second he was put in that coffin. The two of them, they should have both suffocated. But I guess, you got hyper breathing ability if you're an X-Men.
I guess if you're Colossus, you got a iron lung. He's made of steel. I know this joke doesn't
all kind of steel. Oh, that's like when we finally get this on RSS, people are going to hear me face palming. Magneto has his back turned. He's wide open. Cyclops had to rock in. We got Slim yelling, "You haven't beaten Cyclops," at him. And then he's stunned that he didn't catch Magneto fully off guard and he's getting back up. My brother in Christ, you told him you were there. If you had just blasted him, no words, could have knocked him out cold.
And it would have been so funny.
It would have been, but it's not that kind of comic. Everyone's got to announce their appearance. Everyone's got to describe everything they're doing. Let's get X-y, baby.
Let's get X-y.
Yeah, is that the hand symbol we've settled on?
It's very close to... It's just like...
Oh, I'm just being a little cutie pie. I wouldn't even know what to call this little hand signal. X's. When Magneto appears on that epic splash page, just think it's really weird that he says, "You're going to die here, mutants." Just funny that he says mutants instead of X-Men. Usually he's very pro-mutant. His whole deal. Yeah, there's this scene on I Think You Should Leave where they do like that game show, like, that's a chunky. You've got to work out what this is. And that's Magneto. He hasn't quite worked out his thing yet, I guess.
He announces that he's the leader of the Legion of Evil Mutants and he wants to rule the world. Like,
oh, sweetheart, it's so cute that you're doing this podcast and you don't know that they're called the Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Sorry. Look, I'm used to modern day Magneto who has like levels and interesting backstory and personality. This dude is just some baddie who wants to rule the world.
That's so cute.
Watch me get the pod cancelled with my ignorance. Thank God you're here.
Oh, there was a really funny comment on the TikTok where somebody was just really going ham, being like, "It's not a very good podcast if people don't know much about it." Do people really want to just hear us reciting wiki articles at each other, or do you want to hear us be funny and cute?
Apparently. And people still be criticizing Beth for not knowing anything about X-Men, having not watched a second of our material, and ignoring the stacks and stacks of comics literally behind her right now.
It's so funny. This is now just us roasting our TikTok comment section, which I love the TikTok comment section. There are so many cool people in there and so many queer people in there and people who like are always engaging with us and having really great chats, but nobody ever accused me of not knowing about comics before I transitioned, and now people assume I know nothing. It's great. And leave my girl alone. She's new and she's learning, and we're having a great time.
I don't know anything. I'm just a dumb baby.
Give me an X, girl.
This really should have been an up, but I know the writers didn't intend it this way. My boy Kurt, he's flirting with the boys now too. He's on that dock. He's saying like, good morning, gentlemen. And I know that's definitely not how it was written, but based on everything we've seen in every other civilian interaction he's ever had, he constantly has his flirt game up. So you can't tell me there's not a little bit of that in his heart.
He's the sauciest X-Man. It doesn't go well with his Catholicism, but that's not fully fleshed out. But you know what? I made it out of the trenches.
You did. Kurt can do it too. He's also just fine with not being in disguise now.
Why should he have to hide?
That is right. And I know he only does it because he loves him some Errol Flynn.
You know what? The rest of the X-Men got to check their passing privilege. I don't know. I don't like the connotations of what I'm saying there. All right. We accept everybody as they are. All right. The Blackbird approaches the laboratory from the air, and Scott and Moira seem to have missed all the fighting. I know the text says that the landing pad is behind the lab, but there are walls being smashed and X-Men being thrown around. Surely you see something, right? But no, they're just... I wonder what's going on here while there's, like, the ground quaking beneath them.
Yeah, and Scott even says, like, what if one of the evil mutants was to escape? And Moira's like, that would never happen. And immediately comes across one of her guards who's been knocked unconscious by an evil mutant escaping.
How could it possibly happen? Give me another one.
This is where I find out the reason the X-Men haven't had to deal with Magneto is because he was turned into a baby. You gotta catch me up on what the this is.
The wilderness years of the X-Men are insane because not only in the off years of the X-Men did Beast get turned blue and hairy, we learned that Magneto was de-aged to being a baby in the pages of another comic, Defenders, because I guess they just didn't know what to do with these characters. And that's just the kind of...
He's not even in an X-Men comic?
They weren't making any X-Men comics during that time. They were just doing reprints. A few things I love about baby Magneto. Still has grey hair as a baby.
He's kept that look.
He's playing with a toy that seems to be like a mix of a dog and a bear and a mouse.
Yeah.
I can't quite work out what it is.
It's like the trendiest little... What are those little troll bunny things these days?
This is like me not knowing what Discord was and you don't know what a Labubu is. We are like...
Labubu!
Yin and yang. Like just the two ends of the trans spectrum. And Magneto's little kid clothes are the same color as his supervillain uniform. You'd think Moira would give him some clothes that maybe didn't remind him of his years of supervillainy.
Okay, well, thank you for catching me up on why Magneto was a baby.
I don't think I really caught you up. I just said it happened and started roasting the illustrations.
I've come to learn that is as good as of an explanation as I'm going to get sometimes.
Because comics is the answer. The facility seems to be where every mutant gets shoved off panel after the X-Men defeat them. Or even when they're not defeated. I'm a big Madrox fan. He sucks, but I love him. He's a big character in like a few different runs on X Factor. He makes nothing but bad choices. He's a real loser. And he's bad to women, but he's very entertaining. He debuted in a random issue of Fantastic Four, a giant-sized Fantastic Four number 4, I think. Check that for me. As the X-Men are leaving the facility as well, like Madrox has just been shoved there because, here's a new mutant character. All right, send him off to the facility that we now know exists. As they're leaving the facility, Wolverine notices that Dragonfly from the Animen has escaped.
Yay!
We will not be seeing her again.
No! I was so excited. I loved the Animen, and she was my favorite Animen. Except for Beard Cat, of course. But
I did
what
really
was the
like
point of that
Dragonfly's
then?
design. Just having a laugh, just having some fun with it.
thank God you told me because I was so ready for her to pop up in 105. And when she didn't, I'm like, oh, she's coming though. I got a good feeling about my girl.
Yeah. Seanny's over here being like, I cannot wait for my favorite supervillain Dragonfly to show back up. Oh, okay. Got another one?
Eric the Red. Is it established at this point that Magneto's name is Eric Lentia?
No. So that hasn't come yet. So at the moment, we got two guys with very similar costumes, and one's name is Eric, and the other one's name is going to be Eric.
Okay, that's good then, because wasted opportunity for a gag and the comic doesn't even address.
I feel like for the earliest part, he tends to get referred to as Magnus, and even that might not be a thing yet, like for his civilian name.
You know what? Magnus suits him.
Yeah, his name is changed again recently. It's like to make it more in line with being like a traditional Jewish name from the era he grew up in. So his
really? What's his name now?
Max, and I blank on the surname. So, we'll get some references for that. That Mutant X panel is a bit weird. We're gonna have payoff for that. Not for a while, but it will. But that green is leaking out of the door right now. Somebody's got to plug that up.
Dragonfly is going to go plug it up. That's why we don't see her.
Maybe it's like some of that same green ooze that likes to form around Jean when she's being moody. Jean Green.
She's Jean Green. There's a Jean for every color.
Oh, can you imagine? That's an alternate universe story they haven't done.
And we get stuck with boring, plain Jean Grey.
I'm going to whip through two more X's real fast, and then you can give me whatever else you got.
Okay, good, because I only got one more.
Firstly, last page, absolute chaos. We're introduced to like 400 new characters or something, and I know it's all Claremont setting up future issues, mainly the next issue. Not the Starjammers yet, but they'll be around soon. I'm just getting motion sickness over here.
Me too. Okay, now that I know they're called the Starjammers, because in my mind it's just Christopher the Space Pirate and his alien fish friend Ch'od, who I only get 2 panels to become familiar with, and then all of a sudden I'm thrust into another scene.
You know how I'm always like, oh, actually they're important?
Yeah.
Actually they're important.
I hope so, because they take up a whole scene change on the last page. And
You're very spicy on the language today, aren't you?
I know, I'm sorry. I'm like I'm a little overtired and I get sweary when I get tired.
I know it's you who's going to have to bleep them all. For those of you watching this, have you ever wondered why we bleep the swears? It's cuz I'm a primary school teacher in my day job and I'm trying to behave myself. There you go. We're far enough into the episode that, everybody with a short attention span will have lost interest. So we can say it now. Hey kids, Mrs. Seymour's working hard.
Also, it's funnier when swears are censored. There, I said it.
I totally agree. It's like, you remember She Hates Me by Puddle of Mud? The radio edit was way better.
Yeah.
She hates me. We've hit Puddle of Mud already, and we're only 1 issue in. Last one. Cyclops says the new team are good kids, but we didn't prepare them for Magneto. My brother, Banshee and Wolverine are both ancient compared to you. And also, in the world of comics, they're all like, oh, isn't it weird that Magneto got aged to de-aged to being a baby? Don't worry, we don't need to worry about him. He's going to be a baby forever. If de-aging baby technology exists, re-aging anti-baby technology exists. You should have prepared him, Slim.
No words.
How much of that laugh are you leaving in?
I have to leave in all of it. I have no words. All I have is laughter.
Girlfriend, we're doing great. Seanny's losing her mind.
There's nothing left. We haven't even gotten to 105. Because I have, my last X for this one is a retroactive X because of what I learn in 105, which is the very last shot. Eric the Red, Polaris, and Havoc spying on Jean Grey's parents visiting her in Greenwich Village. From what appears like They are right outside and some shit is about to go down. I just want you to all keep that in mind. That is the visual we see before we go on to the next issue.
And that is not what's going to happen whatsoever. Well, in X-Men 105, we're wasting no time at all. It's straight into action as the X-Men land at their aeroplane hangar and find Eric the Red already there. There, not outside Jean Grey's window with Havoc and Polaris. The X-Men launch into battle, but Eric hasn't come alone. He's brought a new friend, the former Herald of Galactus known as Firelord, armed with the power cosmic. Firelord makes quick work of the X-Men as Eric reminisces over how he formed his new friendship with Firelord. Inexplicably, Firelord somehow chanced by Eric the Red's command base. I can't work out whether the command base is indoors, outdoors, in space, on Earth, whatever, but seeing opportunity, Eric sets his mind-controlled servants, Havoc and Polaris, loose on the Herald, sacrificing his previous two servants and convincing Firelord that the X-Men seek to rule this world in the process. Known for his temper, Firelord agrees to help destroy the X-Men. Then suddenly our scene shifts to outer space, where Princess Lilandra Neramani has reached Earth but is chased by the proudest captain of her brother's army, her brother, the Emperor. Seeking information on the planet they've just reached, the aliens on the, I don't know what to call it, the Dreadnought, the Star Destroyer, but it's more buggy. These aliens that are in pursuit of Lilandra learn that Earth has defeated Galactus, the Eater of Worlds, 4 times in their recent history. They turn tail in fear, not wanting to mess with a planet so tough. And you know what? Stay out. As a parting gift, they fire the last of their proton torpedoes, with one hitting the princess's ship, but not before she can reach the teleporter. Meanwhile, down on terra firma, Jean Grey and Misty Knight introduce Jean's parents and Professor Xavier to their new apartment. Suddenly, in what Misty describes as a Star Trek transporter effect, Misty's a Trekkie, we love it. I've never watched an episode of Star Trek in my life.
Me either.
That's cool, but I outed myself as reading the Star Wars Expanded Universe, so, you know, glass houses, can't throw stones. There's my Star Wars references for the episode. The princess materializes in the room and instantly collapses. Moments later, Firelord comes crashing through the walls, destroying Jean's new home and terrifying her parents. He seeks to kill Professor Xavier, but Jean Grey informs him he has just made the biggest mistake of his life because she is Phoenix and she wants you to get out of her house.
Yeah!
As Firelord and Phoenix battle above New York City, Eric the Red appears in the apartment. His name is revealed as Davin Shikari, previously exiled to Earth by the princess, but now working under her brother's imperial command and taking her home to die. The remaining X-Men arrive in the hoverjet. Eric makes quick work of them, blasting them out of the sky, which Phoenix responds to with an energy blast that sends him flying across the Hudson River to the Jersey Meadowlands. While this unfolds, Shikari makes her way with the princess through a Stargate, which shuts before Nightcrawler can follow him through. Jean Grey's parents are very confused, but their daughter assures them she will explain everything later. Using her new powers, she reopens the Stargate, and the X-Men follow the villain through it into deep, unknown parts of space. Firelord reemerges, saying that if he doesn't find Phoenix, he'll blast the planet to atoms. But Xavier assures him that he may destroy the Earth today, but if the X-Men fail, tomorrow the universe will die.
Oh, no.
End scene. Absolutely bonkers issue, girlfriend.
Chaos from start to finish.
All right, well, the way that this issue gets straight in, we're getting straight into the ups. I love when an issue is straight in, and this one just launches into it with the battle against Eric the Red. Lots of fun. Great splash page when Firelord first appears. We can see his little face in between the panels of the X-Men all taking their turns beating up Shikari before Firelord's full body is revealed. Cool page.
A very cool page, actually.
I really love in that big splash page there's like Eric trying to say, I come in peace. And Wolverine says, fine by me, because you're going in pieces. Flawless dialogue.
Without a doubt, the best thing in this issue is all the Phoenix content we get from Jean Grey. When she's the Phoenix, she is drawn so cool. She gets like the heavy shading, no pupils treatment, loses her eyebrows, and she's got a lot of Kirby crackle going on like constantly.
Just a real cool design on that costume too.
So cool.
She is powered up, like so many new powers. She's doing all kinds of crazy stuff. She is shooting massive power blasts. She's opening portals. I don't know if it's Jean or Phoenix talking, but she's so sassy when she's talking to Firelord in battle.
I love it.
She goes,
I love it.
Pal, you flipped your flame head wig. Professor no more wants to rule the earth than I do. But if it's a fight you want, hot shot, then she blasts him out of the sky.
This is so satisfying because, spoiler for one of my downs, I hate Firelord. Get that trash out of here, Jean. We also get like a little hint of her like starting to lose a bit of control when she's like, oh no, I really love killing this guy, and becoming conflicted with the new power that she's having. So we're getting just like a little bit of that coming through.
This is where we need to kind of touch on the secondary theme of like Phoenix and Wolverine both. Claremont's very interested in exploring of this idea of like what makes a hero is having the desires or the capacity to do evil things, but what makes them heroic is the fact that they choose not to.
True.
And Phoenix is an exploration of, you know, what may or may not happen if you start to give in to those urges. It's about bottling stuff up, isn't it? It is an interesting theme, and I don't know that we ever get into a definitive place with him exploring it, but it's something he likes to do with his characters. And look at the way that he describes her being tempted to kill Firelord. She's thinking to herself, she says the powers are like a drug and she's never felt such ecstasy. And then she's saying, God in heaven, what have I become? And these are teasers for Dark Phoenix, obviously. That's where this story is ultimately heading. Everyone knows about Dark Phoenix, so it's not a spoiler. And but yeah, it's like that idea of like her having these dark urges and being tempted to give into them.
Yeah. A very cool three-dimensional theme in an otherwise extremely two-dimensional plot of this issue.
Absolutely. And I think that's what it is.
And you know what? I've realized that's what Chris Claremont's sort of thing that he likes doing is. So let's ride with it.
I've read a lot of 70s sci-fi in my life. As a kid, I devoured sci-fi novels. You know, I loved Frank Herbert and Arthur C. Clarke and Philip K. Dick and, you know, all kinds of stuff like that. Oh, love it. Get it into my veins. Rendezvous with Rama, baby. And the panels of Lilandra's ship and the command deck of the cruiser, they really scratch this itch in my brain. I love like the language that they're using. Earth is a Class M world with a level 4.7 on the Verakas scale. And then they turn tail once they see that Earth has defeated Galactus. It's a great scene. It plays into some cool sci-fi tropes and ties into like the greater sci-fi aspects of the Marvel Universe. There's a bit of a link here in like Firelord is a character that has to do with Galactus. The Herald of Galactus are like the people that Silver Surfer was another one that Galactus sends out into the universe to find worlds for him to eat, right?
That's right, because he's a hungry boy and he needs everyone to know that they're about to be eaten by the big hungry boy.
Num num, good planet.
Nice of him to be like, hey, so y'all are going to get eaten. Sorry about that.
I like that him being like, hey, Firelord, head out and find me a tasty one.
Do you have another up for me?
In professional wrestling, there is like a meme that whenever a luchador is unmasked, everybody will go, oh shit, he's hot. And that's what happens when Lilandra pulls her helmet off.
Ah, does it what?
Yeah, it's like she's kind of like cool, like beautiful, glamorous, breathtaking. Xavier's going to be obsessed with her.
Beautiful triangle hair.
I really like the design of the aliens, which I don't know, have they been called the Shia yet? They're called the Shia. And the thing is, though, like, their hair, it looks like it must be, like, completely two-dimensional. It's just like their hair is completely flat. The rest of the design's cool, and they just got, like, this jagged, triangular hair that if you looked at them from a side, it would just look like a line.
You know what? I have been watching through X-Men 97, and we just watched the episode that features them, and you can see the animators having to deal with this design choice. And they do exactly what you said. Like, that is just a two-dimensional hairstyle.
That's so funny.
But her outfit when she's out of that spacesuit, girl, give me that. It's all like fishnets and cool curvy black cutouts. She's got some pointy little boots on.
Those are the royal fishnets.
They only get to wear them when you're royalty. You should see the peasant fishnets. They're way more skimpy.
We're bonkers tonight, but I say that every week, and I love it. That's the kind of podcast we've fallen into. Any more ups?
Oh, yeah, because to talk about bonkers, we get a cameo from our boys, Chris and Dave.
Oh, this was in my exes, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about it at length.
It was gonna be in my exes, but I enjoyed it too much for it to be in there.
Okay, context. Cute little cameo. Jean sasses Firelord. She blasts him out of the sky. As he is crashing down into Washington Square Park, Dave is illustrating the issue that we're reading as Chris Claremont tells him, anyway, Dave, he hits the ground with this incredible sound effect. And the next panel is Firelord hitting the ground in front of them with a sound effect that says, Foom. Then they're running away, and Chris is still trying to give instructions to Dave about, did you get it? Did you get that down? And Dave's like, let's get out of here. I like that they can poke fun at their working relationship.
It's so cute. And you know what? This episode is so bonkers. The fact that they've inserted themselves in there, literally drawing the episode as we go. Great choice.
I love it. Any other ups?
It's my boy Kurt. It's sort of a two-pronged one because this is where we learn. We talked about it before. Nightcrawler says that he can only teleport to places that he's seen. And it's established here because he's like, someone asked him to teleport to the top of the roof and he's like, I can't, I didn't get a good look at it. And we all know Seanny loves just a funny, interesting little power limitation. And I like that we're seeing that established here.
I like the cute little scene of him doing some acrobatic stuff on flagpoles as he's falling there. Like, all the X-Men are falling. The flyers get everybody's like, hey, did anyone grab Kurt? And Kurt's just there, like, flipping off the New York skyscraper flagpoles, does a pirouette through the air and launches himself straight into the Stargate. And then the Stargate shuts, falls flat on his tushy. I just like Kurt. That's the whole up.
And then he says my next up, which is, my aching back. I wish someone would tell me what's happening here, period. Amen, Kurt. The only person to be saying anything of sense this whole issue.
What is going on? The X-Men story. Chaotic, absolute chaotic issue. We're having a great time. Let's get into the downs. In battle, aside from Storm's claustrophobia, we have never seen any kind of limitation to her powers. The second she enters the battle against Firelord, all the other X-Men are like, oh, hey, Aurora, Firelord's got more power than you can handle. I just don't think that's true. Men getting in a woman's way once again.
Call it. Besides, couldn't she call down like a bunch of rain or a torrent just to like fizzle out his hot little head?
You know, like if Charmander's tail goes out, it's meant to die. Maybe
exactly.
If you put out Firelord's head, man's over here rocking the do like Hades from Disney's Hercules.
What, was my hair out?
At least it makes sense for him to be so aggressive. His name's Firelord. He's got a flaming head. That's why he's such a hothead.
That's it. His head is permanently hot.
Bit on the nose, huh?
I love that it's the second hothead joke we've made in as many episodes.
Yeah, but this time I didn't call myself an airhead.
Yeah, progress.
Progress. We're not putting ourselves down this issue.
No, we're not. But you know what? We're going to put Firelord down. Because let me tell you, who is this stupid hot himbo hunk of trash? Shows up out of nowhere, just flying by the base. Eric gives him some loose explanation that, oh no, the X-Men are trying to conquer the world. They were mean to me. Come look. And he believes him instantly. And he won't stop harping on about how he used to be Galactus's herald. He's like, what, that dude at the pub who was like, back in the 80s when I roadied for AC/DC, let me tell ya, I got no time for him.
And that guy's in every pub.
Every pub. Look,
I am absolutely pillaging my exes here. But just Firelord, it says, Eric goes, oh, it took some convincing to get him on my side. It's literally one panel, he's not, and the next panel he is. Yeah. So if by sometime you mean one panel, go off.
And immediately convinced. Sorry, the X-Men tried to talk him down, and he was like, no, I believe my dear, dear friend Eric, who I met an hour ago.
After everything we've seen of Firelord in this issue, I believe it. So, Chuck is always yelling at people and not doing very much. He's meant to be, the calm and respectful leader. And he's got some anger issues. He needs to work on them in therapy. But every picture we see of Chuck in, any of these issues is just him shouting at people, scowling with a big yellow flash around his head. Chill, dude. You met Lilandra a minute ago, and you don't know what we're doing here or how to fix it.
Seconds before she arrived, she was the most scary vision in all his nightmares. And now that she's been kidnapped, suddenly he's in despair because the universe is going to end.
And she's hot, so I like her now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I really can't get a handle on Chuck on any of these issues, and they're not helping me.
He just continues to suck, and soon he's going to dip off into space, and we're not going to see him for a decade.
Beth, I need you to explain Davin Shikari's convoluted plan that has taken place ever since we saw him first as Eric the Red, leading to this moment. Tell me if I've got this right, okay? When a few issues ago, we saw Polaris being attacked by an unseen assailant, we're assuming that was Eric the Red first turning her evil and giving her her costume. They then show up at the airport to try and take out the X-Men. While this is happening, he is also whispering in the ear of Stephen Lang. Was he observing Stephen Lang, or did he have anything to do with what Stephen Lang was doing?
I feel like we just saw him observing it. We don't know who Stephen Lang was getting his orders from. We saw the Council of the Chosen, and I'm pretty sure they're going to get revealed to be someone else down the line. I feel like Eric the Red was just watching that unfold in the hope that maybe somebody else will pick off the X-Men for me.
Okay.
But it seems like everyone seems to know something we don't, that if Lilandra gets from Shi'ar space to Xavier and has the X-Men help her, something is going to happen that will stop the Emperor's plans. And so Shikari is working for the Emperor, her brother. It's really hard for me not to name these characters because I know them and you don't, and I'm trying to work out what's been said and what hasn't.
And he also hired Black Tom Cassidy and Juggernaut to try and take out the X-Men as another little scheme.
Yes, so Eric the Red is just trying to off the X-Men so Lilandra can't get Chuck's help.
Okay, and so when Lilandra arrives, he switches gears and goes, all right, time for plan B, where I just grab her and run.
Yeah. The whole time it's been Lilandra must not be allowed to reach Earth. Then she has reached Earth, and now I guess we gotta run with it. So I wish I could help you more. This is it.
And we are going to get no explanation of why he chose the form of Eric the Red in which to undertake this entire thing.
Well, we get this little tidbit that he's been exiled to Earth, right, by Lilandra for reasons unknown. She was like a Grand Admiral of the Emperor's army and then has now defected and is seeking the X-Men's help. So we don't know how long Eric the Red has been on Earth, so I guess it stands to reason that he's been observing the X-Men for a long time with the intentions of offing them. This is me trying to put this together. So my understanding is that he must have been observing the X-Men even back then and taken this form as a disguise to mess with them.
Okay. And a disguise he chooses to also wear when he's not interacting with them.
Sure. This is comics, baby.
Okay. That's the kind of explanation I'm going to get, and I will keep watching the movie for next issue.
And not all of these things are going to be satisfying, but it's about the ride. After that long down, I just have a quick one, and I call it Cyclops misogynist? ? Slim has one thought balloon that says, Jean used to be the weakest X-Man. Now she powers up an interstellar transporter without batting an eyelash. That's your girl, dog.
Yeah!
Be nice to her. I thought you were a wife guy.
That's right. I thought you once said beautiful move, Jean.
You know what? Her lashes do look really good on this page, though.
They do. She can bat them all she wants.
Taking that picture to Anita.
Another one next to your picture of Janice from the Muppets.
We got to keep doing different things every time.
You got to shake it up.
Well, tee-hee-hee, it's time for the X's.
Tee-hee-hee.
We cannot let that stick. Where the hell is Eric the Red's command base? Why is Firelord just flying past? Because
passing by.
It seems like he's just passing by in the building. Either that or Eric the Red just has some big screens outside somewhere. He just dumps Alex and Lorna completely. He's like, ooh, this real angry guy, rather than having like my X-Men moles that could infiltrate the X-Men, he can mind control them to do anything, seemingly. Couldn't he have mind controlled Alex and Lorna to be like, hey, we're not mind controlled anymore, sleep at the mansion and just kill the X-Men in their sleep?
This is because we left Havoc's fight with Cyclops on such a note of like, oh, I couldn't take down my brother. We will surely rematch in epic confrontation again. No, Polaris and Havoc exist to get dunked on as Firelord as part of Eric's weird little spontaneous plan to get him on his side.
Claremont just picks up and drops plots as he gets bored with them, and you're just going to have to get used to it. And I just drop having to use Havoc from my comic too.
You know, maybe Claremont was sick of him as well. He's like, what's the fastest way I can write this guy out of here?
He's like, God, this guy sucks. But, like, Shikari's whole deal is he's just really bad at killing the X-Men. There are so many ways he could have killed I could have killed the X-Men by now. And this is a 50-year-old comic. I don't have access to a time machine, and they're fictional. He's a real mover and shaker. He can convince Firelord in 2 panels to kill the X-Men.
That's it, because, like, what was his plan previous to this? He'd sort of run out of plan. He was like, lucky Firelord was passing by my base.
Well, maybe he was planning on throwing a brick through their window just with a little note on it.
Oh my God. That's... Yeah, sorry.
It just says, like, I kill you, scum.
That scene, it confuses me so much. It looks like they're outside the building ready to pounce right there on Charles and Jean. And then the next issue, suddenly Eric the Red is in the X-Men's home base being like, no way, don't fight me. I just want to talk now. And I'm like, what the f*** is going on?
Oh, girl, we are really just dunking on this issue, and I liked it.
Me too. I want to stress that.
You got another X?
But do I? The opening scene where we're introduced to the captain following Lilandra, for some reason, is a complete Star Trek parody. I know I said I haven't seen a Star Trek episode, but this goes to show how familiar I am with all of the Star Trek tropes that they are dropping every single panel. The captain starts it by narrating the ship's log, which is a classic Captain Kirk move of how they start every Star Trek episode. We cut to him sitting in his chair like this, the classic Captain Kirk pose, as all of his funny little interspecies aliens are around him standing at their consoles, just like they do in Star Trek. They mention the Prime Directive when they're talking about invading Earth, which is, I don't know it exactly, but it's basically like you can't interrupt life of species that we haven't encountered yet. We're not allowed to interfere with it. Invented and, as far as I know, exclusively used in Star Trek. It's just so bizarre that this character only exists as a weird little skit and a parody, a pastiche of a different franchise.
That feels like very Claremont to me. And I missed all of that because apparently I'm too cool to know anything about Star Trek. Don't come for me. I think Star Trek's probably cool. I just never got into it.
You're too pretty to know about Star Trek.
Tee hee hee. I don't know. I know lots of gorgeous women who love Star Trek, like Seanny.
Hi, I like Star Trek, even though I've only seen the mediocre J.J. Abrams movies.
That's it'll do. You know what? Everybody's going to come for us after this episode. The Magic 8 Ball people, the Star Trek people.
Star Trek are going to come for X-Men after this copyright mess. Give me an X.
When the X-Men arrive at the apartment, they're pulling up in the hover jet. And I don't think we've seen this since Banshee or Wolverine rocked up at Kennedy Airport that time. But now it's gone forever. Sad face.
Aww. That hovercraft would have been really useful when they needed a hovercraft last issue.
Oh, it's a hover jet. It's a different thing. You can't rent them.
Good thing they did rent it because it exploded immediately. Although this one did too, so.
Any vehicle that the X-Men ever climb into is instantly like, nope, 747, gone. The Stratojet, blown up. The smaller jet that came out of the Stratojet, gone. Teleported out of existence.
It's so that they can introduce a new upgraded version so that the toy line keeps updating every year.
Well, we got the Blackbird for now, and we're going to have the Blackbird for a while.
Cool. I like the Blackbird.
Oh, it's a classic. Batmobile, whatever. How many Robins can you fit in that? Like 3 max? You can fit like 200 X-Men in the Blackbird. It's like a commercial jet. I'm going to catch one of those to Tasmania.
Oh, do it, girl. First class.
There's an X-Men first class joke here. God, I hate that movie.
I just watched it the other night.
Did you like it?
It's fine. All right, I only have one more X.
Same.
So Jean and Misty, what is Jean's, like, job? Because she's not on the X-Men anymore, technically. And what is Misty Knight's job for that point? Only because they talk about the fact that they were apartment hunting and found this little place in Greenwich Village, which is one of the most stylish 2-story apartments that I've ever seen. In Greenwich Village, no shit, you can't afford it as one person going to live in this massive cavernous apartment. The fact that both of your income combined can fund this apartment would be worth millions now. That'd just be that 70s housing market.
Misty might still be a cop of some description here. I think she's involved with, like, police or something in some sort of way. Jean's probably just living off, I don't know, maybe, like, Angel's bankrolling her, just giving money to all his little X-Men buddies because he's a squillionaire.
Angel's a squillionaire?
Yeah, Angel's super rich. That's his whole thing.
Oh, wow, okay.
He's got to have a purpose for hanging around because all the other X-Men are down on the ground doing awesome battles and all he can do is, like, fly around above. Oop, I'm going to dodge some missiles.
Yeah, he doesn't have a cool extra power like what Banshee's got, I guess.
That's all that he can do. But the tea with, like, Jean's parents and Professor Xavier it's very cute. It gives me, like, little 70s sitcom kind of vibes.
It is.
Misty telling the cute little story of, like, oh, we couldn't afford it. And then we had coffee together and we're roommates.
Yeah, well, like, girl, you want to live together? I think we're there.
They met at the open house, went downstairs to a cafe, cup of coffee, back upstairs. We'll take it together. Girl power.
You know the girlies are having a fabulous time in that village.
Oh, they got to be having like all little parties all the time. I just do feel really bad for Jean's parents who they're seemingly just finding out about not only that she has powers, like the existence of the X-Men as a whole. They just came over for tea, and it ends with Mr. Grey demanding answers from Professor Xavier because they just saw their daughter transform into a completely like different body, soulless eyes, go bursting out of the window and sending a guy with a flaming head flying over the Hudson River.
It's a lot of new information digest.
I know. It's like, as coming out stories go, it was a bit of a rough one.
Look, she's starting with the most intense situation, so it's only downhill from here.
And on that note, I'm tapped.
I'm tapped too, baby.
Oh my god, girl, that was insane.
Wow.
I have had so much fun, but now after having to discuss it all, I feel like my brain is mush. But I get a week in Tasmania to rest and reset, and I'm going to be reading a lot of X-Men while I'm there. I'm chipping my way through this Dazzler solo series at the moment, and girl, it's...
How's it going?
We were discussing it the other day. It's like the whole series has like Poochie vibes. All the other X-Men showing up and talking about, hey, this is my buddy Dazzler. She's great.
Isn't she cool?
We're going to go to her concert. And it's just like this really funny dated thing of like, oh, it's the end of the 70s. Disco, baby. Disco's going to live forever. Let's make a disco character. Then Disco died and they're stuck with Dazzler. And I'm having a blast with it. It's the kind of comic I love because it's completely mental. And
well, that's all that matters. And I can't wait until we get to the Dazzler issues.
The Dazzler issue 1. In the Dark Phoenix saga. But then, in the Outback era, she'll be on the team. So, what's that?
Oh, that's nice.
That's like 89, though.
Because in Australia, everything got there a little bit later back then, including Disco.
She's had a haircut by then. All right, I'm getting distracted. Thank you for tuning in. This was the X-Men, the next stage of human evolution. 2 trans women exploring the X-Men. We'll be back whenever we're back with another 3 issues. X-Men 106 to 108. And we're heading to space, baby. We're going up. Mwah! Get on up when you're down, baby. Take a good look around.
Take a good look
I know it's not much, but it's okay.
But it's okay. Keep on
Moving on anyway.
I know that would have been so laggy for you because I was in sync with you.
No, 5, not in sync.
Are you recording right now?
I am.
Good. We're not missing out on this gold.